Hello, fellow fans. I'm Mark. You know, with me is my co-host, the Deadpool to my Wolverine. It's Bryan.
Why can't I think of anything clever? I've seen that movie twice now.
Welcome everyone to UWF on the Chip and Company Podcast Network for a special episode of United We Fan Reviews Deadpool and Wolverine, the non-spoiler and spoiler edition. That all starts now on UWF.
All right, let's do this one last time.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Football is life.
I solemnly swear that I am up to no good.
X never, ever marks the spot.
Is Star Wars the one with the little wizard boy?
This is the way.
Avengers! Assemble.
Chills. Literal chills.
Hello, fans. Hello, Bryan. Thank you all for uniting with us as we talk about all things fandom. Let's check in with Bryan. Did you think of anything to respond to the Deadpool to my Wolverine yet?
LFG.
Please give us a rate or review wherever you listen so we can have with more fans out there on the Chip and Company Podcast Network. Follow UWF on Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitter, and Discord to have more fun with us. Bryan, we've seen it twice. We had a date the first time. It was great. Nope, just me? Okay. Well, anyways, we're going to give you a non-spoiler and spoiler review. Fear not, we will give you plenty of warning when we go into spoiler territory. Highly recommend. Don't avoid the spoilers. See it as soon as you can because, well, people can't keep a secret. But let's do it. Bryan, the non-spoiler. Yay!
I love this movie. I love this movie a lot. I don't know. I think it's an impossible movie to compare to the first two Deadpool films, though.
Yeah.
Like it's
totally
playing with totally different rules. It's totally different. But I mean the soundtrack's great.
Yeah.
There's a few red herrings in the soundtrack list that we talked about on our last episode, but no, like I mean ultimately I love this film. We saw it twice. There's so many funny one-liners, it's impossible to recount any or all for sure. But I think that this film is a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely funny to the point where I'm glad I saw it a second time because then I could hear parts that got laughed out because the audience was just enjoying it so much.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's safe to call this the Avengers Endgame for the Fox universe.
Yes.
And I mean, it's a nice way to say farewell to the Fox universe for the 8 super passionate fans.
Oh, I'm one of those 8.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
How many times have you seen Dark Phoenix?
Actually, that's probably the one I've seen the least.
I picked the right one then. New Mutants.
You
You
did.
probably see New Mutants less.
I think. Oh no, yeah, New Mutants. I think I've only seen twice. Dark Phoenix. Hans Zimmer did a great score for that. What a waste. Yeah, I think. Yeah, definitely New Mutants.
No,
Anyways,
but
we're
I
getting
mean,
sidetracked.
yeah. If you're an X-Men, like if you're a Fox Universe fan, it doesn't even have to necessarily be X-Men. But it's the end game for that film franchise.
Well, what letter grade would you give this trilogy?
The entire trilogy?
Yeah, Deadpool.
Oh man.
Forget the X-Men movies, just Deadpool.
I'm still struggling to see where I would put. I mean, the entire trilogy, if we're gonna rank this trilogy versus Captain America versus Thor versus Iron Man.
Oh man, I was gonna make you suffer and do that next.
I'm gonna give Captain America an A. I'm gonna give Deadpool an A minus. I'm gonna give Thor a. I'm gonna give
Not
Iron
those
Man.
four of them.
I'm gonna give Iron
There's
Man
four.
a B plus, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna give Thor a B.
What about Ant-Man?
B. Maybe even B plus. I love Ant-Man 1 and 2.
I know. I know.
But no, like I think Deadpool's an A minus. I think Deadpool is. I would much rather watch the Deadpool trilogy than the X-Men trilogy.
Yeah. Do our listeners need to see the other two Deadpool movies in order to fully appreciate this one?
I don't think so. Screen Crush did a great 24 years and 18 minutes recap of kind of the character of Wolverine and everything that he has done. If you do just a little bit of YouTube homework ahead of time, right now it's probably pretty dangerous to do because there's probably going to be plenty of spoilers out there now because people just can't help themselves. Again, we're kind of part of the problem. We're going to be telling spoilers, but we're going to be very open and honest when that's happening.
No, the problem is the fans I've seen already on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and all that who saw early screenings and posted something literally probably during the credits.
I think if you don't really need it, the Deadpool 1 and 2, like we assume that the post credits for Deadpool 2 was what was driving this entire film, and they didn't care at all. That's not why they introduced the TVA at all.
Nope. Bryan, as a parent, we saw some kiddos seeing Deadpool. It is rated R. Would Bryan bring his children to see this?
No, I wouldn't. Their mother would murder me. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't take my kids to see any rated R film. But to be honest, this one is rated R mostly only for language.
F-bombs.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think watching 2 hours
Violent.
of Deadpool is just like going and hanging out in a high school hallway for a couple of hours.
Yep. Without spoiling, we all know there's going to be cameos in the movie. Without spoiling it, do you feel that they were gimmicky? Was it handled well? Was there a reason for all them being there? Or was it kind of like a problem like Multiverse of Madness and a couple other gimmicky?
No, I think every gimmicky cameo was called out in the film of being gimmicky for the sake of being gimmicky. I think every true actual cameo was 100% earned. And there's several.
Yeah.
If you've seen the trailers, there's multiple Deadpool characters. A few of those might be a little gimmicky, but they all worked for me.
Yeah. And you brought up the TVA. It's in the preview, non-spoiler. I think if you haven't seen Loki, they do a good enough walkthrough of what the TVA is.
It was a lot less TVA than I was hoping for, to be honest.
Yeah. Yep. So, but I highly recommend it. We saw it in a standard theater, and not to sound too snobbish. Then we saw it in the Dolby theater afterwards. I think I need to see big movies in the Dolby theater, or at least the dine-in with that theater, that sound quality. I felt it a lot more. I appreciate it a lot more when my seat was vibrating to Madonna giggles. It was a better theater experience compared to when I saw it. Listeners, I need to ask a question here. Bryan's preferred seat is closer to the top. Mine is not the front section close to the screen, the next section.
Like
I can hear that railing when the stairs
D?
start.
Yeah.
I told Bryan that's where the youths sit, is up top. Are you closer to the screen, up top, a middle? Where are you, listeners? Please let us know if I'm the minority. But anyways,
if there's no recliner, I'm not sitting row D, because that kills your neck, man.
Wow, Wilford Brimley. So
good morning. I'm Wilford Brimley, and I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes about diabetes.
This is a hard film to discuss in a spoiler-free fashion. I'm going to be honest.
I know. We're going to wrap it up. Bryan, do you highly recommend this movie? Will it be in your top 10 or top 5?
I do recommend this film if you know what you're getting into. I would not say just, hey, I'm looking for a movie for the weekend. I've never seen a Deadpool film. I don't know anything about comic book stuff. I wouldn't recommend this film. I don't think that there's any sort of appreciation that people would have for this film if they don't know what it is or what they're getting themselves into. Like if it's just Friday night and they're bored and you don't know anything, I would not recommend this film at all. But if you care about comic book movies and the character of Deadpool or the character of Wolverine, then it's absolutely worth it.
Yeah, I think you're invested. If you're invested in Marvel and the characters, you're gonna love this movie. It's gonna more than likely end up in my top 5 for the year. I don't know why I'm saying more than likely it will end up in my top 5 for the year.
Oh yeah, and it's currently in my top 5. I can't imagine things will bump it out.
The action's great. The humor hits. The soundtrack is wonderful. The performances are so good. The chemistry between everybody is there. So yeah, Brian, I think we're ready to wrap up our non-spoiler. Fear not, friends, we will have a commercial break, and then we'll give you a spoiler warning to remind you that we're going to go into massive spoiler territory. But first, a word from our sponsors as they break the fourth wall.
Hey guys, Dislife Mark here, and I want to tell you all about the official travel partner here at Chip & Company. Let our good friend Sarah at Destination to Travel help you plan your next Disney vacation. Sarah specializes in planning dream vacations for your family. She's an authorized Disney vacation planner, and she can help with every step of your magical vacation. The best thing is that her services are 100% free. Want to travel beyond Disney? Sarah has you covered there too. Want to find out more? Fill out a trip request form over at the website at Chip & Co. or email her directly at sarahsolberg@d2travel.com. Start planning that dream vacation today. Email her at sarahsolberg@d2travel.com.
Welcome back, listeners. Thank you, sponsors. We appreciate you. Brian, I always appreciate you. Anyways, friends, we are going from non-spoiler to spoiler mode. This is your spoiler warning. No complaining that we didn't warn you. We are on non-spoiler territory. I highly recommend that you don't listen to this section until you see the movie because it's great. I don't want anything to be ruined for you. We will do the nice thing of letting you know it's spoilers. I've said spoilers a lot, but here's one more time. Spoiler warning. Brian, what was your favorite cameo?
I mean, even before he showed his face, the second he spoke, I knew it was Chris Evans. Like, I knew it. But I did not see it. I did not see it being Johnny Storm. I did not see that coming at all.
Honestly, on the second watch, they did a great misdirect because they showed Captain America clips. Then they showed the new Captain America shield that's not round in the sand. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, next to the Thor helmet with wings. Yeah.
Yeah. They planted it in your head really well to make you not think that at all.
Well, and he's even got like red on his wrist. Like on, like, no, like the Emmys and Deadpool, like, okay, Captain. And he like hugs him and he's like warning him, hey, there's going to be language and whatever. And then Captain America calls him the D word and it's like, oh, and then it turns out to be Johnny Storm. That was such a great misdirect and just expertly pulled off. That was hilarious.
I loved that. And then the Fantastic Four car or the little hovercraft.
that was part of the Mad Max crew. Yeah.
It definitely. Oh my God, Sabretooth driving the motorcycle thing.
This IP infringement. I think Chris Evans probably is my favorite cameo, but I'm gonna be honest, it didn't shock me that he was in it because he was in Free Guy too. Like I knew Sean Levy, the director, and Ryan Reynolds work well with Chris Evans. Like I wasn't super shocked by him appearing. I was absolutely floored by the fact that Wesley Snipes was in this film.
Yeah. And that was my reason for not being totally surprised that Channing Tatum was in it, because he's also in Free Guy, and I go, all right, that makes sense. Those guys work well together.
Channing Tatum's in Free Guy?
Yeah, he's guarding the one base.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, oh my God, Wesley Snipes walked in.
The second I saw the card, I knew, like, I was like, okay, that's Gambit. It better be Channing Tatum. And yeah, like, they roasted that poor guy throughout the film. Loved that part.
But I mean, they were spot on. Are you sure anyone was asking for this?
Yeah, Wesley Snipes. Like, I knew Jennifer Garner was in the film. Like, it was reported on 18 months ago that she had been cast as Elektra, and they did a good job at kind of tampering that down and not ruining it. I'm still mad at Marvel Studios. I'm still mad at Marvel Studios for putting Daphne Keene in the trailer last week as X-23. Like, I don't think it was necessary. I think it was the whole, we're going to have her at the premiere, and Entertainment Weekly, like right after that trailer dropped this entire like interview with her. So it must have been on Entertainment Weekly's time schedule. Like, so rather, I mean, better it's in the trailer than Entertainment Weekly dropping the bomb, I guess. But I didn't know
I loved
anything
that trailer though.
I only watched it once because I was mad.
So Kevin Feige did come out and say they have thrown around the idea that they only release one trailer, and I think they should stop like multiple trailers, just release one.
I think that would have worked in phase 3, but right now I think they're still trying to earn a lot of the audience back. So I don't know if they're at that point right now where that would work.
I think right now, you're right. You had a point. And I remember when, oh my God, what's his name that plays Adam Driver, plays Kylo Ren, said, man, I hope they don't release a trailer for our last one. You know, everyone's going to go see it. So
I wish I hadn't. Maybe that's not true. That's a little facetious, but I still don't like that film. But let's start from the very beginning.
Yes.
I think that was everybody's concern, and Ryan Reynolds called it out multiple times. Of what are you, the internet? Of people talking about how he's gonna just destroy his legacy and whatever. Like, I think when the movie was announced, everybody's like, "Well, Logan's dead. Like, how are they gonna pull this off?" Knowing the multiverse is out there, and Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool right at the beginning is like, "We're just gonna just trample all over it, or whatever." And then it turns out Logan actually is dead, and he's got a full adamantium skeleton. That was hilarious. I thought that was great. And the bye. I do have a bone to pick. No pun intended, I suppose. But I do have a nitpick in that opening scene with the opening credits, because in the first 2 Deadpool films, the opening credits are the writers of the real heroes, directed by some stooge. Like, they're not actual opening credits. Like, the opening credits for Deadpool 2 is, wait, holy crap, did you just kill her? And it's played with a Celine Dion song, and it's all kind of joking and words and stuff like that. This one actually was like legitimate open credits, and I was a little bit bummed by that.
I'm with you. That was my first thought. My first thought was, oh, Disney's making them do real credits. Okay.
Yeah. I'm really surprised by that, to be honest. But watching Deadpool do the full dance routine to Bye 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 was great. The way
there was a lot of grown men who would probably never out loud say that they're a boy band fan, but I saw you tapping your foot to that song. So I see you guys.
It's a great song. It was on both of our Rushmores that we were excited for that song.
It's true. We also, in our archives, did a Backstreet Boys first NSYNC episode. So yes, we are boy banders.
There was also another song on that soundtrack list of The Greatest Show from The Greatest Showman. And they did that just to build hype because it was in the movie for 3 seconds. And I'm super bummed about that.
I didn't catch it until the second viewing. The Deadpool dressed up as The Greatest Showman. So,
what? No, I still didn't see that.
Oh, yeah. It's when the whole army is there. Look to the far right, and it's him in the red jacket and the top hat.
That's awesome. But the song is in the movie. It's when they're in the Honda Odyssey that Wade hates. He pounds Logan's head against the radio, and it plays The Greatest Showman for 3 seconds, and then hits the radio again with his head, and it turns on Grease, which is a fun song to fight to. Like, don't get me wrong. But Wade's hate for the Honda Odyssey made me laugh so much as a father of 4, and knowing the world of minivans, that made me laugh a lot. I wonder how much Kia paid to be the good minivan. Dopinder was lacking. I wanted more Dopinder. The friends in general.
The original cast.
Yeah.
Well, except Peter.
Yeah, Peter.
I didn't realize Peter was such a crowd favorite.
Well, he's funny, man. Calls him Sugar Bear.
I love Peter.
I forgot he saved Shatterstar when he saved like all the rest of the X-Force. So Shatterstar being in that group, was kind of boring to me.
I didn't understand that at first. I was like, wait, how does Shatterstar? Why is he there? Did they not get anyone else?
I mean, I remember Wade saving Vanessa too. Like, that's a gigantic bummer that he's not like living in another timeline where Vanessa's alive. Like, he saved his Vanessa and she left him. That's a massive bummer.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the Happy Hogan thing. I thought that was funny. I did half expect Kevin Feige to make an appearance. That's two things now where Feige, I mean, I guess, do you think Wade was asking to talk to Tony Stark, or was he asking to talk to Kevin Feige?
So first viewing, I thought he was asking to talk to Robert Downey Jr. Then after talking to you, I go, oh, maybe he was talking about Kevin Feige. It would have been funny because the door was open if Kevin had just walked by behind him.
Wearing a hat.
Yeah.
See, I'm opposite. First viewing, I thought it was Kevin Feige, kind of a la She-Hulk a little bit. But the second viewing, I had the thought that he was waiting to talk to Robert Downey Jr. to join, because it took place March 14th of 2018. So 5 years before Tony Stark died, because Tony Stark died in 2023. And this technically happened. Yeah, because Infinity War happened in 2018. And then Endgame, even though it came out in 2019, had a 5-year jump. So it jumped from 18 to 23. But March 14th, like, it was before Endgame, so technically Deadpool was having this conversation. I think March 14th, 2018 is the day that the purchase of Fox became official.
Oh, that's a fun fact.
Let me confirm that, but I know it's right in there.
Well, I geeked out when I saw Cap's prototype shield from the first Iron Man movie on the side there.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then also the little thing that when Tony is trying to talk to Pepper Potts in the second one, the little desk rotating ornament, it's behind Happy.
Oh, interesting.
Things you geek out about. Yeah.
Nice.
So, but no, it was good to see Happy Hogan. I'm glad John's getting some loving. So then we move on.
I wanted him to make a Star Wars reference to Jon Favreau.
Ooh,
I wanted it bad.
That would have been a good fourth wall break.
Yeah, I wanted it.
Because Sean Levy's going to direct a Star Wars movie.
Not official, is it?
Oh, he's going to direct one. I know he wants to.
Yeah, well, and James Mangold opened his big mouth about how he thinks multi-film franchises ruin storytelling. So my guess is James Mangold's out of his Star Wars project at this point. So it said March 14th, 2018. Deadpool 2 came out actually 2 months after that date, but the official acquisition of Fox didn't happen until 2019, even though it was announced in December of 2017. So I don't know if there's anything super special about March 14th, other than the fact that it was kind of Disney was in the buying of Fox at that moment in time, but it was not official for another year.
Yeah. Well, then we see that he is a car salesman with Peter at what looks like a CarMax.
Yeah.
But spin-off CarMax. Bryan, would you purchase this car from Wade Wilson after he uses language?
My wife wouldn't, I can assure you of that.
I mean, he did give the kids a safe sex talk. But anyways, then we get to his surprise birthday, and there's pretty much almost the whole original cast from the first two movies. And that was cute, but that's, like you said, that's pretty much all you see of them until the very end of the movie.
Yeah, I think the different ways to say cocaine is a fantastic joke, but we've seen it for 6 months now, so it kind of had lost its luster. There, you could tell how many trailers everybody in the theater had seen, because some of the funniest jokes that were in the trailers barely even got any laughs.
Yeah. Once again, that goes. Yeah, I think
even though the pegging being new for Disney, that one still got some laughs in both showings.
Oh, it when he winks at the camera, I laughed. I did see one thing about how previews should go back to being a minute to 90 seconds. Yeah, because now like previews are 2.5 to 3 minutes.
Speaking of, you were right. You tipped me off that they edited part of the Captain America trailer. I didn't notice it the first time, and then
Yeah,
the second time I noticed they took out the shooting the president. That was pretty surprising.
yeah, they changed it just to Isaiah kicking some butt.
Yeah. Well, I mean
So-
that was all in there too. I just think it. Yeah. Anyway, but no, like yeah, none of the friends like were in a lot of the film. I think the way the relationship he has with Yukio is my favorite. I love Colossus, so I mean I was bummed that the friends weren't in it, but I mean with the story they told, the friends shouldn't have been in it.
No, it would have been very forced to have any of them in it. So here's the thing: you get plenty of them in the first two movies. After doing a rewatch, I love all their scenes, but this was a different story. There was no way to get them in there. So
I still love the first one when he asked Negasonic Teenage Warhead to switch names. Yeah, so I mean, we go to the TVA. We pretty much saw everything that the TVA really had to offer in the trailers, and they kept with the Marvel Jesus theme through the whole film, which actually was surprising to me. I thought it was just kind of a one-off joke, but they kind of kept going with it. The Taylor was funny. He's
a predator.
He's a predator. That's what he calls him. Yeah. I mean, Paradox being the villain was not a surprise to me at all.
She was good though. I know she wasn't a huge player.
Who?
But no, not sorry, not Paradox.
Hunter B-15 from Loki.
James McAvoy's sister.
Oh, Cassandra Nova.
Sorry, I got those two confused.
No,
Anyways.
I mean we knew she was the villain, but Paradox was like supposed to be a surprise villain.
Nah.
No,
I got 50 from the previews.
Yeah, I mean it was not overly surprising. No, because so let's talk about the portrayal of Emma Corrin as Cassandra Nova. What did you think?
Marvel's had really weak villains, and we got a good one here. Granted, she's not in it a lot, but that's okay. I'd rather it be small. It wasn't underutilized like Christian Bale's villain. She played her part and she played it well for what she had. So, but Marvel still has a villain problem, but in this one, good to go. Oh God, the fingers running through people's face as she read their minds.
That's a crazy effect.
Can I also say
crazy.
You brought up the visual effects stepped up in this movie.
Yeah.
Marvel needed to step up and they stepped up.
Well, and I really paid attention to the second viewing of her literally sticking her fingers through people's eye holes and nostrils, and that was crazy. The way her hands run under Wade's mask or through under people's skin, that was gross and cool all at the same time. I thought she was great. Cassandra Nova has a pretty extensive history in the comics, so for her to be kind of one and done is a bit of a bummer. I struggle with Advanced Idea Mechanics AIM from Iron Man 3, like massive comic lore and one and done in the films. That kind of bums me out. I think Cassandra Nova is really interesting. She basically was taken from Charles Xavier's family at birth and sent to the void. That's what they said in this film too. So like Charles Xavier went most of his life without knowing she ever existed. So I
got Sylvied.
I'm glad they actually fought the urge to have any sort of Charles Xavier in this film. I think referencing him rather than putting him in it, because you could have done James McAvoy or Patrick Stewart. We've already done the Patrick Stewart one. I think just referencing Charles and kind of his legend is better than actually putting him in the film. So I was glad they actually did that.
Yeah, there was no part really for him. Mentioning him was great. I'm still pissed not surprised that the Academy did not nominate Patrick Stewart for his performance in Logan. That was such a great performance. And even in Multiverse of Madness, it was okay. that movie just had problems. So I'm honestly good with them not trying to make him a thing again.
Yeah. I think if you did it, it would have been James McAvoy. But I'm surprised Jennifer Lawrence wasn't in this film, like, to be honest. But if you really know your Fox lore, like Ray Park, Darth Maul himself, was back as Toad.
Was that him? You didn't really get a good close up. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've confirmed that it was. But like that, he looked younger, which
that's
honestly,
why I didn't think.
In our first showing, the amount of laughter at the exploded 20th Century Fox logo actually surprised me. Because again, I thought that was something that we've seen plenty of in the trailer that I didn't think it would have any staying power. I think it's a funny concept, but we just saw so much of it. Yeah. Both of our showings, I'm just going to do it.
Feeling hot.
The amount of people pretending like Dogpool is cute is ridiculous. Everybody's saying, "Oh, that dog is ugly, man."
I would love that dog to the end of time.
No, you wouldn't.
You don't like animals. You don't like the cat.
No. The cat in A Quiet Place day one. They way too many shots of the cat.
You don't like Dogpool. I need
Dogpool's fine, but I don't.
Random Rushmore.
The game where everything's made up and the points don't matter.
Dogpool fits the role. Dogpool fits the role of being the ugliest dog in the world, but let's not pretend like it's cute.
Bryan, we can't all be pretty like you. Some of us are like a Wyoming 8, but like, you know, like,
we have listeners from Wyoming, so we're sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, Bryan, for all you listeners out there, is a Colorado 9. So, but anyways, Bryan, I need your Rushmore of favorite animal characters, film or television.
I mean, the original one is Comet from Full House, right?
Oh.
I'm gonna Babe the Pig. We go there.
Have you actually seen Babe?
Yeah, I've seen Babe.
Have you seen Babe Pig in the City?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
Air Bud? The one that plays
You're just
basketball?
naming movies? You don't actually like these animals, do you? You're just naming animals.
I like dogs. I just don't like ugly dogs.
I'm calling you out right now. You don't like animals.
I have a dog. I mean, does Yogi Bear count?
That's an animal.
It is?
Yeah, it's a bear.
Well, yeah, but it's a cartoon bear.
Well, hey, if it shows people that you have a heart, I'm going to take what I can get right now. For any of our listeners out there, if you work in an animal shelter or anything with animals and you would like Bryan to volunteer or myself to volunteer, we love animals, I swear, listeners. Don't turn us off.
I just think, oh, it's so cute, and it's not. That's all I'm saying.
The lickies and the kisses.
Its tongue is totally stuck out of its mouth. There's a reason that dog was voted ugliest in Great Britain. And they know a thing or two about ugly over there.
Whoa. We have listeners. What I will say is, do I think any of the people who are watching going, "Oh my god, I love that dog, so cute," do I think any of them would actually give that dog a home? No.
I'd give the dog a home. I don't want the dog to die. I just think it's ugly.
I think there's more people who are out loud saying, "I would love to visit and play with this dog, but not own this dog," I think is a better statement.
I don't know how to provide you with 4 animals from things that I have watched.
You don't.
Give me homework and I will report back next week.
What about like Homeward Bound?
Yeah, I love Homeward Bound. Except the cat.
Okay.
I'll go with Jinx the cat from Meet the Parents.
All right. So anyways, other than the appearance of the poor dog that you have insulted, overall, I think the dog gave a great performance, had a cute outfit, and
I can't believe the dog was Lady in Red. I can't believe it was the dog and not Lady Deadpool.
I had no problem with that song going for the dog.
I'm so mad. I like legit. They teased Lady Deadpool or Lady Pool for a long time. I can't believe we didn't see her without her mask on. And I can't believe we didn't see Matthew McConaughey without a mask on.
I didn't even catch the Matthew McConaughey one until the credits rolled, and I go, "Why were you so excited for it? It's Matthew McConaughey." So
yeah, I got mildly spoiled. It was more speculation than anything, but I wanted it when I found out that Cowboy Deadpool was a thing. But I did love Wrexham Deadpool. Did you catch him with the Welsh flag?
yes, I caught that one. I'm bummed at myself though when you did tell me. I go, "Why are you so excited for Cowboy?" Oh, it's Matthew McConaughey, and I didn't respond. Well, all right. So yes, I did. I know. I saw Wrexham. So
And then Kid Pool was played by Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's oldest son.
that kid's gonna be all right in life. So we got a beautiful no mask Deadpool Ryan Reynolds. Why no mask? Well, come on. Beautiful.
Nice pool.
Yeah. Bryan, they made a reference to Van Wilder and The Proposal. Have you seen both of those Ryan Reynolds movies?
Yeah, of course. Van Wilder.
Van Wilder. I can do that too. The Proposal. What?
Question of the night. Did Wade intentionally kill Nice Pool?
Yes.
The first time. Like, I think when he took him over to the donut cart, I think then he knew what he was doing.
No. I knew. He held them up there for a little second when they got to the car.
Yeah.
He wanted the dog and his sidearm.
Yeah, he committed murder. Did you catch the Stan Lee cameo?
On the bus, right?
Yeah, it was on the side of the bus. It was Stan Lee Steamer, which cracked me up. But it was Stan Lee Steamer and then had his face. So Stan Lee lives on.
Cameo wise, do you feel there were any missing from the Foxverse cameos? We got Sabretooth, Toad from the first X-Men movie. We got Chris Evans. We got the Flame guy from X2.
Pyro,
thank you.
Pyro had a lot to do. That was surprising.
He was in there a lot more than I thought. Yeah. We did not get the original Juggernaut from X-Men Last Stand. Who
was Juggernaut? Because in Deadpool 2, Juggernaut was they called him the Juggernaut of the month.
Yeah, he was major CGI Juggernaut.
I think every single cameo was earned. I think every property was represented. So I don't think they missed anything.
I think the only thing I noticed they missed in the credits they do a montage, like an Endgame type montage to the Fox Marvel universe. They showed clips even from Ben Affleck's Daredevil, but they didn't show anything from the Punisher movie.
They reference Punisher quite a bit. I think it would have been fun to have him around. They didn't show anything from Punisher, but I think that's because they're picking it up.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan. But I think Punisher is a character that I think most Punisher fans are totally good with John Barenthal, and that character is continuing in Daredevil Born Again. So I think that might be part of it. They gave him plenty of reference though. I think the Gambit one, I think every single joke they pulled with Gambit was hilarious. Asking if his dialect coach was Minions, like, oh my gosh.
If you loved Andrew Garfield in No Way Home, you will love Channing Tatum in Deadpool and Wolverine.
And if you don't and a lot of people don't understand, Channing Tatum was fighting for that movie for like a decade. Like
he was in a publicity photo.
Yeah, too. I think it was announced, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and are you sure? You're not just asking for it when nobody actually wants it? Like they poked so much fun at it, and they poked everything at why I don't like Gambit in the cartoon either, because he's just annoying and difficult to understand. Everything was perfect. Like the Wesley Snipes thing blew my mind when Wesley Snipes goes, "I'm the only Blade, and there will only ever be one Blade," and then Deadpool just looks at the camera. Like, I honestly hope that's Marvel's way of announcing that Blade is officially canceled.
I don't know. I think I just read that they announced it's going to be rated R, but yeah, I thought that was good. That got a good laugh.
That got
I
a
was happy
great
about
laugh.
that.
That got a great
Yeah.
laugh.
I was happy that people cheered for Jennifer Garner as Elektra. It's not her fault that the movie was awful.
And then referencing the fact that Daredevil's gone, aka her ex-husband, and she's like, "Oh no, it's totally fine."
Yeah, good for her. Good for her. Well, Brian, we haven't really talked enough about Hugh Jackman, and I want to know, what are your Rushmore of Hugh Jackman movies?
I will put The Greatest Showman on there. Love
Nice.
that movie.
Is Kate and Leopold on there?
No.
Whoa, is Swordfish on there?
Is he in
How many
Swordfish?
people remember that movie?
I only remember one specific part of that movie. If you know what I'm talking about, we can move on.
Halle Berry, John Travolta.
Hugh Jackman's in Swordfish? I don't even remember that. I'm going to go with X2.
Then I don't know what scene you're referencing then, because the one scene I thought you were referenced to, he's in.
Well, I just don't remember John Travolta in that scene. I remember something else and only that.
2001, Swordfish.
Yeah, I'm going to go with... is this a safe space?
Listeners. Yes. Talk to us, Brian.
I think Logan is good. I don't think Logan is an absolute masterpiece that it was constantly referenced as in this film. I would put Deadpool and Wolverine on my Rushmore before I would put Logan.
I mean, I always get yelled at because Logan's not my favorite X-Men movie. I think it's really good. I think the performances are great. But it's not a perfect movie like a lot of people call it. But I think it's a really good movie.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go Greatest Showman. I will go Deadpool and Wolverine. I will go X2. Even though I might like the first X-Men better, I think he's better in X2. And my last one, I will go with Les Mis.
I'm going to move on. I'm not going to get you a chance to say joking or change your answer. And I'm just going to go with it because we have a Broadway episode coming again soon, just like our hit episode that we did. And Brian's going to be a major player in it.
Okay.
Did you understand his Music Man reference?
I did. I absolutely did. That was hilarious. He will sing all of Act 2 of a Music Man without warming up. Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
This was when I was still waiting for him to sing The Greatest Show. So again, did I mention how bummed I was that was just a quick song cameo?
Can we just say how Ryan Reynolds has even said this, how great his kids have it? Because they were watching The Greatest Showman and Hugh Jackman came over and he just started singing with them.
So cool.
Right?
That is
cool. Hugh Jackman nails it. Looks great in the suit. Looks great, period. Definitely. I mean, this movie didn't quite go Martin Scorsese level with the F word, but Hugh Jackman used it as much as possible. And we got different Logans, different Hugh Jackmans, and we got a comic accurate Wolverine. So
when he talks to him like a little baby, man. That is so funny.
It just because I think Wolverine in the comics is like 5'6", 5'7", something like that.
Yeah, he's a little guy.
You get to see Mini Me, and then we go into what looks like 80s universe Wolverine with the hair.
Yeah,
he's not happy at all. And then we go into the really scary universe. And I'm sorry, I don't get any of the comic book references, but I'm sure like the one with him on the giant yellow X on the Red Skull is definitely from some comic book with that artwork.
It's not you. It's us. We're gonna go a different direction. and then we got the great brown costume when he's fighting Hulk. Yep. That was cool.
I was hoping for Eric Bana's Hulk or Edward Norton's Hulk.
I mean, I guess it was Mark Ruffalo, right? Like we didn't even get a great look at him.
The way it looked like Ultron looking. It wasn't Smart Hulk. Thank God. They would have just lost a lot of people if they made it Smart Hulk.
Well, that wouldn't make any sense either. Like the reflection of the Hulk in the claws was cool. I thought that was really fun.
Yeah, that was great. And then big spoiler. Unfortunately, TikTok, somebody had ruined it for me by saying Henry Cavill does have an appearance in the movie, and I swiped off, but still it ruined it. And he's in there, jacked, and impressing Ryan Reynolds as alternate Wolverine.
Do you think this is a John Krasinski, Reed Richards situation, or do you see this as Marvel announcing that Henry Cavill will be the MCU Wolverine?
I think it's a John Krasinski move just because when he honestly started talking and his look, Kevin Feige said in an interview that whoever is the next Wolverine should not try to be Hugh Jackman, and it kind of looked like Henry Cavill was like just kind of doing a Hugh Jackman impression.
Fair.
So
he's a good looking dude, man. That dude is jacked.
I was secretly hoping, after I thought about it, that Daniel Radcliffe would have been the shorter Wolverine, but it definitely was funnier having Hugh Jackman be short Wolverine.
I expected Daniel Radcliffe to be the one playing poker.
Ooh, that would have been so good.
But
Patchy.
Yeah, that's what he called him, Patchy. Let's take one more commercial break, and then we'll come back and finish up our spoiler discussion with our Mount Rushmore of moments from the film.
Is Disney World home to you? Realtor Victor Naraki can help make it a reality. Realtor Victor Naraki specializes in making your Disney home dreams come true. Second homes, investment homes, retirement, relocation. With Victor's input, he will show you the home opportunities that you don't get to see as a tourist. Imagine being at the park in minutes, walking around the World Showcase for daily exercise, watching the fireworks in your own backyard, or having Disney Springs as your local mall. Have you ever heard of Windermere, Winter Garden, Horizon West, Dr. Phillips, Claremont, Lake Nona, or Disney's own Celebration and Golden Oak? Victor will introduce you to these communities, which are just minutes to the magic. Stop imagining a Disney life and start living your dream today. Call Victor at 407-340-9375. And don't forget to mention that you heard all about Victor here on the Chip and Company Podcast Network. Head over to celebratingflorida.com and start living your magical life today.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
All right, I think we've covered pretty much everything that needs to be covered. So let's finish up our spoiler discussion of Deadpool and Wolverine, talking about our Mount Rushmore moments from the film. Your 4 favorite moments from Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh my gosh. Here's why this is hard. There's so many great moments for me in this movie. It's not me trying to think of 4 great ones. There's
trying to narrow it down.
Yeah. I loved it when Ryan and Hugh were having that moment before they go into the particle accelerator thingy, and he's just saying, I've been waiting a long time for this team up.
Mm-hmm.
And that just felt like a real beautiful moment there. I loved that one.
Did you think they were dead at any point?
No.
Didn't either. It was a real freaking welcome to the Guardians of the Galaxy situation where they're stronger together and we're going to make it. That's what I expected.
Yeah, but they played the comedy of it really well.
I cannot believe. Yeah, they did. I cannot believe they touched the 4th rail of Hugh Jackman's divorce. That's the most awkward joke in that whole movie.
Like, people in the audience actually went, oh.
Yeah.
And then I know walking out, one couple was saying, wait, is Hugh Jackman divorced?
Yeah.
So that movie unfortunately broke that news to them.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
I'm
going to go with the opening credits. That belongs on there. Even though
the bye.
I'm bummed that the opening credits weren't a bunch of words like the first 2.
Yeah.
But still, the opening credits and the adamantium skeleton, really fun. And the bye dance is fantastic.
I think I'm gonna have that, the street fight with all the Deadpools, and then it would just ending.
That one
with
shot
almost-
on the street fight when they go out of camera and then they come back with him pushing
Yeah.
Wolverine from behind. Yeah, I mean, if you can grandfather in Wolverine putting his mask on for the first time into that whole scene, like that mask, as silly as it is, it looked friggin' sick when they come out of the back of that. When they come out of the back of that bus and it like freezes and then he falls on his face. But like, yeah, that was cool, man. That was really cool.
And then I think I'm gonna have it when
It's like
whatever. I don't care
Batman,
about your
except he can
feelings.
turn his neck.
No. I mean, there's always that thing when you look at Wolverine's mask and it looks like two side silhouettes of Batman kissing. I'm gonna go with when Ryan Reynolds is talking to pretty Ryan Reynolds and little Dogpool is just licking him, and
Literally his tongue's in his mouth.
I think it's a very cute scene. I mean, I might change that one, but that one's there right now.
I'm going with Johnny Flame, and I'll roll in the post credit scene there too, where he literally said everything that he said, and you can quote me on it. He's like, see, man, that was so funny. That was great.
Let me ask you about that. Are you disappointed at them showing a montage of the Fox movies and having the Chris Evans thing be the end credit scene, or are you happy with that? Did you want something else, or are you good with that?
I'm good with it, but I'm confused by it because Kevin Feige said in an interview that if Infinity War was a 9 and Endgame was a 10 in regards to how this is going to set up the future of the MCU, that Deadpool and Wolverine is an 8. I expected to leave that film today with some sort of understanding as to how the X-Men are going to be incorporated into the MCU, and we're not even close.
Not at all.
This film stands completely on its own, which I'm fine with, but I guess we'll maybe know more tomorrow night when the Hall H panel at Comic-Con, and I'm expecting Comic-Con for Kevin Feige to give the future of the MCU in regards to films, and I think at D23 the Disney Plus stuff is what they're going to talk about. But I expect Deadpool 4 to get announced. I expect Doctor Strange 3 and Black Panther 3 to get announced. I expect to see footage or at least costumes of the Fantastic Four. I think we'll get an announcement. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Peter Quill is joining the Thunderbolts. I think we might get that announced. But that's just me speculating. I know nothing else other than that.
Do you think it's Hugh Jackman's going to be old man Wolverine in the X-Men movies and his daughter is going to be...
I hope not. I'm fine. If Daphne Keane sticks around, I'm totally good with that. I think she's great. I like X-23. But I mean, just let Hugh Jackman just die. Like,
yeah,
let the joke of let them running him until he's 90. Like, let that sit. Like, I don't. If Kevin Feige really said Wolverine's going to be different in the MCU, like, it should be, and B, just let him go.
We also got to find out why Thor was holding him and crying.
That was great, and that was a running bit throughout the film.
They didn't let it go at all.
I think everything with Blade. I'm gonna go with Blade and Gambit. Like, can I just call that one moment? Because and Elektra. I mean, Jennifer Garner looks great for 51. But yeah, you were like, you didn't even react. Because I knew she was in it. So I got spoiled on that like a year and a half ago.
Oh my God. I think a lot of people were hoping Scarlet Witch was going to be in it when they showed the mural on the roof there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, when they went into Blade and Elektra's lair, Scarlet Witch was on the roof.
Was that her?
Yeah. And then did you notice that was Hulk's bed frame from Ragnarok?
I did notice that. Yeah, I did notice that. I didn't know that was Scarlet Witch though.
Yeah, that was the mural from the third movie.
No, and honestly, I'm glad that they didn't incorporate a lot of MCU. They did keep it to the Fox films. Like the one thing they referenced in the MCU ended up being Johnny Flame.
Feeling
I've been rewatching some of the older Marvel where they have the comic book pages flipping and it becomes the title. I don't know why, but that intro is just kind of feeling long to me now. And the clips in it, I'm just like, the intro just doesn't hit me quite as it used to.
I expected the Marvel Studios intro today to be all Deadpool. So when it was just the one Deadpool and then regular Marvel Studios, like that was actually kind of surprising to me.
I think it was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, but if you do it too much, then it loses its luster. Because they did it with Black Panther, they did it with Iron Man.
Oh, yeah.
So they've done it a handful of other times.
That's just it. There's one intro. It's for, I'm going to put on my nerd hat.
They did it with Stan Lee for Captain Marvel. I couldn't remember the one I was thinking.
It was an extended cut for the first Fantastic Four movie. And when they're flipping the pages, it's comic book pages from the Fantastic Four. And I just love that intro so much. So, but anyways, the movie is great. I love it. I'm going to go see it again. Highly recommend it. See it opening weekend while the crowds are great. They're energized and they're ready to laugh and be wowed with you.
We had two great crowds. I was annoyed by the row in front of us in the first one.
Oh, because somebody was on their phone?
I didn't even notice that. It was one dude just kept standing up.
Oh, yeah. They made several trips to concession stand.
Yeah. But anyway, it was good. The dude next to me was like, had a Deadpool backpack like on his legs, like wanting us to know how hardcore Deadpool he was.
Yeah, I saw that. Shout out to him. There were a lot of Deadpools dressed up. There was a Jesus Deadpool.
I saw that.
So
I don't even know if we got to Rushmore of 4. It's hard to narrow down. Great film. We hope you enjoyed it as well. Please let us know. Come to the Discord. Talk about it with us.
Yes, Discord privileges. We like to give those whenever we can, like being guest judges on our playoff episodes. That does conclude this episode. Bryan, thank you for the date night to see Deadpool and Wolverine. We thank you, fellow fans, for uniting with us. For those listeners who want to get in touch with the show, please do so. Bryan, let them know.
Find us on Instagram at United We Fan Podcast. Shoot us a message there. We'll get you the Discord link. Come over, talk Deadpool and Wolverine with us. Or if you want to talk the Paris Olympics, come talk that with us. We're going to have a lot of stuff going on in the next couple of weeks.
Thank you again. Listen to us wherever you check out your podcast. Till we unite again, fans, Bryan and I are off to get some chimichangas. Or shawarma. Whatever. Both good.
It was an educated wish.